Welcome to the Cool Fireman Podcast, a virtual firehouse kitchen table with What's a Rolfie, Unky, Fireman 1231, JDB Cubed, and Fireman Freddy. Let's get to the show.
Only fools are rushing.
You're welcome.
Welcome
Yikes.
to the Cool Fireman Podcast.
We're here.
What's up, boys?
Another great episode
Yep.
of everyone's favorite podcast.
It's another episode. I don't know how great it's going to be.
We don't know how great. We hope that your New Year's was amazing because this is going to post after, even though we're recording before it.
Mm-hmm. January 5.
We didn't have to say that. They would have never known unless we said it. Son of a
Well,
gun.
they know.
That's okay.
We're full of transparency.
We're really drawing back the curtain here on everything that happens.
Nerd alert.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
We've said before that we try to record a couple at a time because it's just easier logistically for us to do that.
Yeah. Get off my butt.
Nobody's on your butt. You're the one that said you're going to travel across the country and touch people.
What in the butt? What in the butt?
Matt wants to travel across the country and touch people. I believe that's what he said
That's
last episode.
what he said.
Hey,
Yeah.
just a disclaimer. I've
want
had
to
about
touch
6
on.
cups of coffee this morning,
Coffee?
so I'm a little jacked up.
Oh my God. Can Nicholas get in? Because this would be a
2
great
o'clock.
episode.
What?
This would be a great episode if we could have Nicholas on it.
Nick's not
He's
coming.
driving.
Nick's
He
not
said-
coming in.
He said, I'm traveling back home today. What time? And
Right now, boy.
Said he'd be home around 4.
Right about now.
Can you get in?
This would be
Good
perfect for him because
episode for you.
this podcast is going to be about Nick.
Yeah.
What?
But
I mean,
hey, all right. So we're going to get right into it.
The one about Nick. This is like a Friends episode. The one about Nick.
Hey, we gotta bring up last podcast we teased. So if you didn't listen to the last podcast or you didn't finish the last
Stop.
podcast, stop. Go listen
Go
to it.
back.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you don't have to do that.
he
But
said
we
he's
would-
driving.
We would appreciate it.
It's fine. It's fine. We don't need Nick. We can.
But we talked about a teaser for this podcast, and there's a guy on TikTok. What's his name?
Jimmy.
Bear
Did you
the
make that up?
voice.
Yes.
Bear.
Bear the voice.
His username is Bear the Voice 3.
Okay.
3. Because there's 2 others.
Maybe.
So this guy is going to get a little publicity from us, which is awesome. And we'll send him this, see if he responds, because it seems to respond to a lot of stuff.
Our huge podcast is really going to put him on the map here.
Hey, don't you talk like that.
I'm being dead serious.
Is this more drawing the curtain back? Is that what we're doing right now? So this guy, tell us the story, Doug. What happened? Something about
Tell us the story, Papa.
So,
who is this guy? What does he do on TikTok?
he's a truck driver from Oklahoma.
Okay.
He has 900,000 followers. Very popular guy on TikTok. People know him. People know
Get some
him.
help from him.
Wait. He has 900,000 followers.
I feel like we're doing this the wrong way. He needs to talk about our podcast.
Yeah, right.
Yes, he has 904,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow, good for him.
He does a lot of posting about how he cooks in the truck and things like that. It's truck driver life, which is a big deal because there's a lot of guys who are over the road that live in their trucks basically Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
My dad was a truck driver. I get it.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. My dad was a trucker. I get it. So anyway, that's what he posts about. And people send, of course, when you get a little following, people send you stuff all the time to promote and try. And if you like it, promote it. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah, talk about it. Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people out there who will receive a product and say, you know what, this is trash. I don't like it. Well, there's one of the Louisiana guys that I see on my feed all the time. Not a big fan of Dan-O Seasoning. He said it's terrible. Well, apparently several times in the past, looking through Bear's stuff and the comment section, Bear has said that he doesn't like Dan-O Seasoning. He just said, I don't like it. It's garbage. It's not for me.
And that's his opinion. He's entitled.
Absolutely, he is. And he's not putting the man down. He's just saying, I don't like your stuff. I don't like the way it tastes. It's dehydrated stuff. It's not for me.
That's not what he said. He said dehydrated something else.
Okay. Well, I'm, again, paraphrasing. Work with me here. So later, he 16 hours ago, he posted a video that said, Dan-O's is reporting all my videos. And he said that they were being reported for content violation or what did he say? Trademark or some
branded content.
Anyway, long story short, branded content. Yes. Somebody asked him, how do you know that it's Dan-O's reporting, or are you just assuming? So he responds with a video and says, it might have been somebody that works for him. It might have been Dan-O. I don't know. But somebody was messaging me saying, will you please take those videos down about, bad mouthing our product? And he said, no, I'm entitled to do that. You don't get to tell me what to do. So they're
this
reporting
America.
Stuff. Yeah. Well, in that video, he says, that's his catchphrase.
Hey, you just
that dog hunt, old son.
Hey, you broke up. None of us heard what you said. Hang on.
If you're listening to this right now, we're going to start a GoFundMe for internet for Doug.
Stop. It's cloudy and crappy here. Whatever. Anyway, where did it stop at?
You got to say that again.
He's before you said his catchphrase.
Okay. So Nick's catchphrase is obviously that dog will hunt.
With the point, now, you did it right.
That dog will hunt, old son. Now, was Bear taking a shot at Nick because he's Dan-O's right-hand man?
Yes.
I personally don't know that Dan-O has a bigger spokesman than Nick Hammond.
Correct.
I don't know of anybody that has a bigger following than Nick who promotes Dan-O's stuff.
Correct.
And Nick does promote it a lot. Now, again, old folks do say that. I'm not trying to speculate. I'm just saying the man said that, and
he's taking a shot at Nick.
Let me find out what he said.
I think it
was a valued member of this podcast.
I think it's random. I think that he said that because that's what old folks say. That's where he's from, and that dog won't hunt. But he didn't say that dog will hunt. He said that dog won't hunt. I think, right?
I think it's not a coincidence, though. I think it's not a coincidence that Nick is a huge promoter of Dan-O's, and that's the one phrase that he uses, and that's the phrase that he used to say that dog won't hunt. Like, he's not going to say like Nick. That's. He didn't say it, out of all the things. He didn't say like, that wasn't scrumdiddlyumptious.
That's not what the old folks say.
That dog there just don't hunt.
Do they say that in Virginia all the time? That dog will hunt.
Yeah, we've said that all. Country folks have been saying that for years because we hunt with dogs. It's a thing.
But you say that with food.
We say it with everything. Anything that it relates to. If it's just getting a woman here. Strapping down hay bales when I went and picked up hay last week. It's all nice and tight and secure. It's not, hey, that dog will hunt. Meaning it's good.
You slap the thing and you say that's not going anywhere.
I know, but I'm God damn it, Freddy, I'm being metaphorically here. Speaking metaphorically.
I'm just saying, in Michigan,
I'm being metaphorically here.
Until I met Nick,
until
I met Nick, I had never heard that phrase. Never.
That's what I'm saying. He's from Oklahoma. That's definitely Midwest. Michigan's Midwest. I get it, but it basically
Oklahoma is not Midwest.
What? How is it not? It's literally in the middle of the West.
I'm not.
It is in the South.
I'm from the West Coast. I ain't touching this with your, if you know. What I mean.
North America, it might be South. In the United States, it's in the middle. Look at the map.
Oh Lord. Oh,
anyway,
hold on a second. Have you seen the podcast of those two guys, and they're younger, and the one dude always says crazy things, and the other white guy, he's got red hair, I think, and he's like, no, you're wrong. Oh, I gotta find it. It cracks me up. Like, the guy was like, name an animal, and the guy's like, a fish. He's like, no, I told you to name an animal. He's like, I did. A fish. And he's like, no, a fish isn't an animal. Like, they argue.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God, I'll find it. But
Sorry,
I feel like that's what we're doing here is Oklahoma is not the Midwest.
No, what we're going to do is our next podcast, we're going to have a geography teacher on, and he or she is going to teach us a little bit about United States geography. That's all I can
Regardless.
say. So my buddy and
saying means everything is good.
My buddy lives in Sacramento, and he thinks he lives in Northern California. And I said, no, you live in Central California. That pisses him right off.
Anyway. I don't know shit about California. I hate California.
Jesus. Except for one resident. Or one household.
And one golf course that I might be able to play because of said resident.
If you were listening to the last podcast, you would know that joke.
You should listen to the last podcast.
Dude, we should. That'd be hilarious if we were able to do like trivia.
All right.
What did Doug say in episode 50? And you can win
I wouldn't even be able to
a sticker.
And I'm on the podcast.
I don't. You just did it.
That's true.
Oh, by the way,
we just recorded it.
By the way, the box that I received from, I think it came from Unky. It is on the way to Matt.
What? Oh, what do you mean? What did you do?
It's the box with that I had that Unky has labels attached for everybody to send. I sent it to Freddy. Freddy sent it to you. You're sending it to Nick.
And then it'll get lost in space. Oh,
and then it'll get back to Unky.
All right, I like that.
Somebody's gonna have to drive to North Carolina and get that.
We have to say thanks to Unky. He sent us all a sampler pack, or at least I got one.
Yes, thank you.
I got one and gave it away.
That's what he said we could do with them.
Well, I forgot to make content with it. I literally gave it away, and I was like, crap.
I ordered 4 more because I'm going to give them as Christmas presents.
Oh, nice.
I know it's after Christmas. Don't judge me.
That's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
The men in my family, I'm ordered it for the guys that cook. I'm like, hey, try this guy's stuff, man. It's some good stuff, especially that garlic and herb.
Yeah, we did garlic and herb for our rib roast for Christmas Eve with garlic and herb.
It's so good. I put it on everything.
Yeah, I did too.
And then no salt.
Yeah. I tell you what, I hope he holds on to Brian Kelly's that buttery rosemary. Dude, it's fire.
Yeah,
and I've been combining it with the garlic and herb, the buttery rosemary and the garlic and herb.
Exactly what I did.
I made my chicken pot pie with biscuits the other day, which I have notoriously, religiously just used the garlic and herb Unkies, and I use chicken thighs, season them up, whatever, do the vegetables. I had it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw some of this buttery rosemary, the Fire Marshal. I'm going to throw some in there and see what it's like. Oh, we were all sitting at dinner, and Emily's like, man, something's different about this. It tastes amazing today. And I was like, yeah, I used that buttery rosemary. It is really good.
Yeah,
and I tell you what,
that's not just because we like the guy. That stuff is really, really, really good.
And I've been using it quite a bit. And I looked at the bottle because I was worried. I'm like not even halfway through the bottle. I've used it like 10 times.
Yeah,
It's like it's deceiving. Or he's a wizard, and every time you use it, it just fills back up. Maybe that's
maybe.
Well, that's Dan-O's shtick. Dan-O's shtick is he dumps it out of the bottle and then tries to put it back in the bottle, and it doesn't fit.
Well, that's just air.
Dehydrated.
It gets
dehydrated. What do you say? Dehydrated
dog shit.
I
think a lot of that too, though, is you don't realize is those bottles are vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
So it sucks all the air out of it, and then when you pour it out and you fluff it, then you try and put it back in. It's
literally any seasoning is going to do that.
It's a parlor trick.
It is.
You know what?
You ever been to a parlor?
Yes.
What kind of parlor?
Massage parlor?
Doug's about to go to one, and he better be careful it doesn't get shut down by the FBI in a couple weeks.
No, this place is legit. Come. This is not one of those in a strip mall beside the grocery store kind of thing.
The old R&T.
Is that the one that Robert Kraft goes to?
The old Jack Shack.
Ooh, nice.
A $5.
Funny story. More than that, buddy of mine was my second rookie in this department. We're not saying any names. Went to a class one day, and he had a long break, or he got out of class early. or what it was. And he didn't have to be back to work till like 5 o'clock. He's like, well, fine, I'm gonna go get a massage. So he goes to this place and he takes walk-ins. There's your first fucking red flag. They take walk-ins. So he goes in, and, she's on the table and on his back or on his stomach, and she's rubbing his legs. She's coming up his legs. She gets to his thighs, and she gets like up in the crease of his butt near his coin purse, if you will. And she says, $40. And he said, what? No, I don't have that much cash.
Oh, Lord.
She said, okay. So she keeps going. He's on his back now. She gets back to the crease of his leg. She says, $20. And he said, oh my God. True story. This happened. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's where you're going. And that's where you're going, you said?
That is not where I'm going. I'm going to a reputable, established kind of place. Okay. But yeah. Anyway, there's that. So I sent those videos today. We're all over the place. I sent those videos today. I said, please respond.
We need to come up with what we think about this bear guy. We need to know.
I don't think he's that far off. Like when I first started out making content, like cooking content and stuff, I think I had like 10,000 followers. And Dan-O actually reached out to me and he's like, hey, can I send you some stuff to use? And I was like, sure. So he sent me some stuff. Yeah. I made a couple videos with it, whatever, and then I bounced back. Like, I think I hooked up with Unky like real early in my content creating. I don't think I had 5,000 followers when he was like, hey man, like I like what you're doing. I'm a firefighter too. Da 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 da. So I kind of went back to the Unkies for a while there. I was on Flavor God. I don't know if you have seen that. Though they were sending me some stuff. I was kind of all over the map, and I got a message from Dan-O, and he was like, I sent you that stuff, and I can't believe like you're doing this to me. You're not making videos with you're using everybody else's stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey man, like, sorry you feel that way. Like we didn't sign a contract. You sent it to me to use. Like it is what it is. Like I wasn't sold on it. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best stuff ever. For me, it was just, I don't know. He uses a lot of rosemary and a lot of citrus. So it was good. Yeah. It wasn't, it wasn't world breaking. It whatever. And I'll be honest with you. I know Nick is tight with him, but the Blazing Star guy kind of was the same way. Mike with Blazing Star, he sent me some stuff, and then he was like, dude, you only made like 2 videos for me. And I was like,
did you pay me?
Like, and here's the deal. And you guys can look at my TikTok and stuff. I do a lot of videos for products and stuff like that. I don't charge anybody. I have never once charged a firefighter owned or supporting business ever. I strictly get sent stuff and I make videos for it. Burnbox.
Pro bono.
Burnbox sends me boxes and I make it for free. The video every single month. Everything that I've ever done, I've either bought myself or I've been sent. The only time that I've received money for a video that I did, it was 2-3 years ago. I did White Castle slider stuffing. They reached out to me and they're like, hey, we see that you make cooking content. We want to know if you want to make a video for Thanksgiving talking about how you can make stuffing out of our White Castle hamburgers. And I was like, heck yeah. And they're like, how much would you charge? And I was like $250. How about? And they're like, well, our budget is $750. Can we pay you that? And I was like, sure.
Pause.
Yeah.
Did you just burp and blow it away?
Yes.
On mute?
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
That's the only time I've ever received money, like for doing this. And I know it's funny because, like Emily said before, she's like, when do we start reaping all the benefits of this? And I was like, I don't know. I don't really charge people. Like, I like the things. Like a lot of these companies, Jobtown Tools. They used to be Firefighter Tools of Babylon. They have some really cool like shove knives and their firefighter swipe tool. Modus got some of their tools. Just did one for Firehouse Cookie Company. They had, dude, their cookies were really good, like really good. And he asked if he could do it. J5 Fire Lids, Matt's buddy, who we found out the other day that he's buddies with him. Didn't even know it. We kind of like reached out to each other or whatever. And I was like, dude, this one with the palm trees is awesome. He's like, give me your address. I'll send it to you. And I was like, oh, let me pay for it. He's like, nope, I'll send it to you. And he did. And I did a video on it and he sent it back and he's like, dude, you didn't have to do that video. That's awesome. Thank you. Or whatever. I said, use it for whatever you need to use it for. Like I 100% am not looking to make $1 billion. The same with this podcast. Like I do it because I have fun doing it. And B, I want to try and promote these small businesses.
It's a platform
that are trying to make it. And I was lucky enough when I was with my other fire department to be able to cook while I was on shift and post it. I can't do that at this new station, and it's fine. It is what it is. I'm not upset about it. But I was able to get like 95,000 followers, and now my videos get pushed out to a couple thousand people every time I put it. So if I can get somebody a couple more sales, I'm all about it. Sorry, that was a long diatribe.
Absolutely. And so you brought up J5 lids. That was so random that you had done that video about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know Kevin. So a very short story. We do this paddle. I think I've talked about it on previous podcasts where we do this paddle every summer with the guys I work with. We'll go on a stand-up paddle. We'll stop at different bars. Then we jump on bikes. Well, Kevin was at the first one that I went to, and I'm like, so I met him. He's a fireman. And he's a captain on a truck, and he was buddies with one of the guys I work with. And so, dude, just the nicest guy, down to earth. I mean, wanted all of our phone numbers, became friends, lives kind of far away. So, obviously not going to hang out too much, but we've kept in touch. But he has this company for lids. It's, dude, and they're awesome product. But a short story, this guy, we get a call at one of our local beaches for a full arrest, and we march down there. It's one of our beaches that has terrible access. And so it's taking us forever to get down there. I come down and there's this guy doing CPR on this guy on the beach. The lifeguards, there's someone, I think like bystanders to pull him out. I can't remember. This was years ago. It was probably like 6-7 years ago. And this guy's doing CPR. He looks up at me and he goes, dude, Rolfie, nice mustache, as he's sitting there pounding on this guy's chest, dude. And I'm like, Kevin, what's up, man? He's like, oh, just sitting here doing CPR. He's like, hey, they grabbed the AED. We've shocked him twice. And then, he basically relinquished care to us. And so we end up shocking this guy like 6 more times. And it was the most amazing thing. We get this guy into the back of the ambulance and he's still unconscious, no heart, no rhythm, not breathing. And this has got to be like the 6th or 7th time we've shocked this guy. And my partner, before he hits the shock button, he goes, you will live. And he pushes the button. This guy flies up in the air and we get a rhythm back. We get
oh shit.
we get Rosk. So I go, let's go, set of vitals and a 12 lead. Let's get out of here. And that's 1 out of, I think, 2 in my entire career that I visited that guy in the ICU and I shook his hand. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Unfortunately, he was Spanish speaking only and we couldn't really converse. But the guy started crying. It was like the coolest thing. I got to shake his hand and, obviously he was saying gracias. And it was like the coolest thing. So I messaged Kevin. I go, dude, you won't ever believe what just happened. I just shook the guy's hand that you were doing CPR on. I'm like, you just saved this guy's life. Like that. I love teaching CPR. And that's one of the first things that I tell people that I teach CPR. I go, you guys that are out here learning how to do CPR are the real heroes, not us. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's going to save the life. And that is 100% true. Kevin saved this guy's life. And we were just the, whatever you call it, the byproduct or the accomplice, whatever you want to call We received care from him, but it was because of that early CPR. I saved that guy's life. And so I made sure that I text Kevin, and I'm like, dude, you just saved this guy's life, man. He's like, oh man, that's so awesome. But such a great guy, great company. He's been in business for a long time doing those lids. And now
I bought my first two from him probably right after I got my leather, which has been like 8 years ago now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe longer than that. It's been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, we can plug his business, no problem, on our little platform here. I mean, like you said, how many people is this really going to reach? But anybody that does,
millions.
He makes the inner liner, the cap. What would you call a lid? I mean, I know it's called a lid, but
it's a helmet pad.
It's pad. Yeah. But he'll do custom. Like I have an American flag one from him. I have a custom embroidered, says Rolf on it. One of I think a whole bunch of us got them at the department. But anyway, go to find.
I've got an American flag and a bunch of mustaches.
Yeah, J5 lids. Yeah,
I think the next one,
J5 fire lids.
Yeah. I think the next one I want to get, I'll see if he can design it for me, is a thin red line flag.
And I'm sure he has that.
And then have it embroidered to say Freddy.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy is super cool. But that's so funny how, things happen like that. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times about how social media, people think of TikTok and it's just, young kids dancing around, but I think the coolest thing about TikTok is just the community that we've kind of gained. And you probably have random people that you don't know that comment and like all of your videos. And it's kind of this little community of people. And it just, I don't know, I really enjoy that. And I mean, the number one thing on social media is the relationships that just jogged my memory. So Park Place for the middle school team, 7th grade basketball. And we were at a game, and I volunteered this year to run the scoreboard for them so that the coach doesn't have to do like 13 things. And it was like 2 or 3 games that I've been doing it, and we were walking out. They had just won, and walking out of the gym, and some dude, like literally from across the gym, he's like, runs up to me, and he's like, Freddy. And I was like, hey man. And it's weird because like I got 2 circles of people. I got like the fire circle that all, knows me as Freddy. And then I have like the personal circle, and most of them know me as Brent. And this guy came up to me. He's like, Freddy, hey. And I was like, hey, man. Shook his hand, tried to be cordial. I had no clue who he was. If you're listening. Actually, he is listening, so I apologize. He's like, love your content, man. Been watching you for a long time. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Thanks, man. He's like, podcast is amazing. Really wish your chief would let you cook on duty. I was like, yeah, man, me too. And shook his hand. I was like, thanks, man. Peace out. Don't know his name, but it was very, like, caught me off guard in the city that I live in my son's middle school. I think our kids go to school together. And he's like, hey, man. I was like, whoa. And we were walking out to the car, and Emily's like, who was that? I said, I don't know. But they listen to the podcast.
So the root of this is how influential social media can be, and people with big followings, like you were just saying, Freddie, earlier about you do cooking videos. You used to do a lot of cooking videos. Nick is basically all cooking stuff. And there's a lot of people in that side or realm or genre of TikTok, whatever you want to call it, where you're going to have people like Dan-O, like the Blazing Star guy, like Papa Earls, Heath Rouse, all the seasoning guys are going to try to send
Pete. I think he's got hot sauces, right? Yeah.
Right. Oh, God. I love that guy. But anyway, those people are going, if they see that you have an audience, they're going to reach out to you, and they're going to send you stuff to try. Now, if they're not financially compensating you to say this stuff is the best stuff since sliced bread, then what do you have to complain about? Yeah, right. Like you just said, Freddie, nobody's paid you for it. Well, then I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Even if you do pay me, if it's trash, I'm going to send it back to you. That's not what I'm here for. I don't do that stuff, but that's just who if I was in, somebody with that kind of following position. Look, man, I'm not going to tell people this stuff's good. just to promote your small business because this stuff is ass.
And you know what? To be fair,
and to be fair, I'm not going to tell the world that it's ass. I'm just going to say, look, this isn't going to work. Because I'm not going to put my name on, oh, man, I love this. We're going to use Dan-O since that's who we're talking about. This Dan-O is the best stuff since, it's amazing. Put it on everything. Is it really, though? If it's not to me, I'm not going to say that.
And to be fair, I have never completely and utterly roasted a company. There's been times that I've used stuff and I'm like, hey, that's not bad. I'm sure there's people out there that would really enjoy this. That's kind of my way of being like, you're not going to see a shit ton of videos of me using this because it's just, and listen, my wife has Crohn's, so she can't do spicy and overly powerful seasonings. It really upsets her stomach. And so when I cook at home, a lot of the times I will make stuff lightly or unseasoned and then make her portion and then kind of season it the rest either for myself or for the kids. Both of the kids don't like overly seasoned things. It's just, it is what it is. And I'm sure there's people that are coming for, oh, you're not you're not enhancing their palate and blah, 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 blah. Listen, man, I'm trying to get food in my 12-year-old so he gains weight because right now he is on ADD medication that's an appetite suppressant, and he wants to be this kid that hits home runs and plays safety and makes these big hits, and he's got a lot of things working against him. So I will make what he will eat, and that is what it is. So that's why we're actually happy. These couple weeks here, he's not taking his medicine while we're off on break. So we're kind of like, hey, bud, like now's the time to try and bulk up, gain 5 or 6 pounds, because usually he eats like a bird, and we'll put food in front of him, and it's not that he eats bad things. He's just not hungry. It's an appetite suppressant. So, but there's certain things that if I make it, my chicken pot pie with biscuits, my meatloaf that I make, I got 3 or 4 pasta dishes that both kids will just absolutely jam on. They'll eat it. So I find we find ourselves sometimes eating the same meals like week after week. But as far as I'm concerned, if I can get food in their bellies, that's a win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think we're also not sitting here bashing guys, but it's like, what you're saying, they send you this stuff to use and then they ask you why you're not using it. It's like, I mean, if you want to pay me for an exclusivity contract,
right?
Sure, but I mean, come on now.
And I almost don't, as a rule, sign an exclusivity. And full disclosure, if you really want to have a little trip inside Freddy's brain, I feel bad sometimes when I make a video and I don't use Unky's seasonings, because he is one of my best friends. He is somebody who I know who's trying to get his small business off the ground, and I don't want to ever feel like I'm not being loyal to him. And he's said it a million times that he uses other seasonings other than his own, and it's not a big deal and this, that, the other thing. But it's just my the way that my brain works. That's like, oh, I really should be using more Unky's to try and make sure that we can get him as much publicity and sales as possible. So I feel bad sometimes.
We obviously use Nick in this scenario because he's obviously the most popular of us on TikTok. He's got almost 1 million followers. So,
and he's got thick skin.
Well, whatever. But he does, the majority of his content is cooking. And that there's a list as long as your arm of people who have already and probably still are going to send him products that revolve around cooking. And let's just focus on seasoning. I know people are probably sending him knives and cookware, and obviously he's got a big thing with grills and stuff, which is great for him.
Dude, that's freaking amazing. Yeah.
But we're talking about the seasoning thing. Now, if he's got 10, 12 people sending him stuff, let's just use 10 people sending him stuff that want him to promote their product, he cannot cook that much with a full-time job and promote all that stuff. So he's almost forced to say, look, I've got to pick these 3 to 5 that I really like, and this is what I'm going to stick to. And that we don't know anything about what Nick has talked about with these people, but we're just using him as an example. If that's the case, again, hypothetically, Nick needs to tell those other top five people, look, I'm going to stick to a small group that I really like. Your stuff's okay. I'm not that fond of it, but I'm not going to promote it. And the product person, if it's Dan-O, if it's Heath, whoever, has to be adult enough to say, okay, well, maybe, again, if Nick has 950,000 followers, we'll say 500,000 of them follow him because they like the cooking content.
Strictly for the cooking, yeah.
Right. Those 500,000 people are going to have the broadest spectrum of what they like. Half of them may like Dan-O's, half of them may hate it. Half of them may hate Heath Riles, half of them may love it. That's all individual stuff. And as a producer of that material or that product, you have to say, as a business owner, you have to say, okay, that person doesn't like my product, but maybe this person does. So you divert from Nick and you go to Freddy. Hey, Freddy, I'm going to send you some stuff. Let me know if you like this. If you like this, we can talk about your promotion or whatever, and it possibly paid promotion. If I was a seasoning manufacturer, that's what I would do. I would say, hey, can I send you some stuff? I want you to try it. I'm not asking you to review it. If you like it, we'll talk about reviewing it and potential compensation. But until you tell me whether or not you like it, I'm not going to ask you to promote it. Personally.
That's why if you go on a fishing charter, they put 11, 12, 13 lines in the water. If you're fishing with one fishing pole, you might not catch fish. You put 14 lines in there and you catch one fish. Hey, all right, cool.
Right.
So that's why you kind of market by scattershot. You know what I'm saying? Like, send it out to 20 people. And I'll be honest with you, with us that work in the fire department, I take a lot of the seasonings that I had been given into the fire department, and dudes are like, oh, hell yeah. Like I've got 4 or 5. Heath Riles sent me a box, huge box of stuff, and it's delicious. Took it to the fire department. There's 4 or 5 guys on the fire department that buy his stuff now because they like it. They really liked the, I think it was the hot barbecue rub or whatever it was, spicy rub.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you're exposing people to something that maybe they haven't ever been exposed to, where they may not buy it themselves because they don't want to buy a 16-ounce thing of seasoning if they're not going to like it.
That's $15. Let's be honest. I mean, this stuff is not cheap anymore.
It's not. And so you send it out and you have the possibility of connecting with maybe 30 plus people. And this is my opinion with the fire department people, because I can't have, this is me. I can't have a cabinet full of 400 seasonings.
No.
So I find the ones that I really like. It's mostly Unkies. I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. It's mostly Unkies. That's what's in my cabinet right now. That's what I use on a daily basis. Everything else, I'll use it at home, or I'll take it to the fire department and I'll use it. And dudes are like, man, what is this? This is really good. We've got 2 bottles of Dan-O's at the fire department. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. They get used a third of the time, maybe. We use a lot of the Sam's Club, big old thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking, but when you're talking like basic shit, like paprika and chili powder, like obviously.
Yeah.
But you're right. At my fire department, or my station rather, I'm a dual company house, so there's probably 8 to 10 people assigned per shift. So you're right. There's 30 to 35 people who are getting exposed to whatever I bring in that station and leave in the spice cabinet. That's 3 different shifts of guys that can say, you know what, I don't like this. Oh God, I love that. I need to order some of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
So now instead of getting it free, I just gave that guy an order, and he didn't ask me to. Again, I'm not that guy. I've got 15, 16,000, whatever. That's not who I am. That's not my niche.
Your comedy content.
I'm a laugh kind of guy. But you're right. It's about the exposure. And if I buy, especially if they send it to Freddie, people have sent you stuff to seasonings. You're right. It's the exposure that they're getting, not just on TikTok. It's the real world exposure in the fire department. If they send it to Joe Schmuckatelli, who makes videos at his house in Little Rock, Arkansas, you know, who's he? He's only reaching his social media audience.
Yeah.
We cannot discount the push that social media has. I mean,
oh my God,
talk about the cheapest way to market your small brand. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan-O, Unky, whoever it is, sends us a bottle of seasoning, right? I don't even have 9,000 followers. Okay. And I would say that on average, no, I cannot get followers. I'll post a video and I'll gain 10 followers and lose 8. I don't understand it, but that's okay. I have fun doing it. But I also, make time where whatever. Anyway, so I just haven't made video.
I'll get 50,000 views and gain 6 followers from it.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is I don't even have 9,000 followers, and my cooking videos will typically get around 5,000 views. So that's 5,000 people that just saw Dan-O or Unky or Heath, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And they're going on. Don't think that at least a percentage of those 10% are going on to those websites and buying those because they're seeing it. That's me. Now,
or at least looking.
Or they hear that name and then 10 minutes later they see a video and it's Heath Riles. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe I need to check into that. That's 2 people in the last 10 minutes who have mentioned that stuff. Maybe it's pretty good.
The big marketing buzzword we're talking about is conversions, right? And Nick has more than all of us combined because he has almost 1 million.
That's why
he posts a cooking video and he gets at least 50,000 plus views. And you don't think that people are buying that because of him? Oh my God. The amount of product he's sold, just him, is insane. And all for what? For free seasonings? He's probably getting paid too, but
right. I'm sure
he gets paid by Dan-O.
Some
Dan-O pays him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure some of the other people are paying him, whatever. Plus, obviously, the free seasoning. But I'm sure there's some compensation involved. But the amount with that many followers and that many people wanting to work with you, the amount of time it has to encapsulate to be a content creator, it's got to be stressful as shit for him. 1, he's got a full-time job. 2, he still volunteers at his fire station. 3, he's got a young baby at home.
Another on the way.
Yeah, right. And Clarissa's pregnant, right? So, you talk about stressful and time consuming.
Crazy. He's dug himself into it. That's a good.
Yeah,
it's a good problem to have, though. I mean, he's
right. Yeah. The demand is high, and his time is dwindling. So it's tough.
Yeah. So, Bear, we started talking about that at the beginning of the podcast. Answer us somehow. I don't know, whatever. I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole Dan-O ends up.
I will respond to one of his videos and tell him we talked about him on the podcast and see if I get an answer. Probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah, he won't respond to us.
But
if we cut a promo.
Yeah.
Tag him in it.
The basis of this for me was Bear has every right to give his opinion on that.
Yeah.
And if he feels like Dan-O is he says Dan-O he says someone in Dan-O's camp reached out to him. So he apparently has confirmation that it's coming from Dan-O's camp, that they are asking him, please take these videos down. I don't know how you could ever prove who's reporting a video, but if someone, I don't know. But again, if they've said, please take these down, and he said no, and then randomly they get blocked or reported, 2 and 2 makes 4 where I come from.
That doggo hunt.
I am fully on Bear's side with this. I fully support him and his opinion to say, I don't like this, and to go in there and say, I think this guy's blocking my videos, reporting my videos because I'm talking trash about his stuff, or I'm saying his stuff's bad. I'm not talking trash about him. I'm saying his seasoning is bad. That's kind of petty on Dan-O's side, if that's the truth. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm team Bear.
All right.
For sure.
I think we all
I froze again, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Good. Yeah, you're fine.
It's good speech, my friends.
Okay.
I think this is.
I got to get Freddy. I was trying to get Freddy's picture.
This is a good. I think this was a good.
He was froze like this.
I think this is a good.
Like what?
Yeah, this is a good. This is a good topic. I think a lot of people could actually relate to this.
You want a promo?
Whether you are somebody who creates content or you consume content, I think this is something that maybe you've thought of. Maybe you're like, hey, I see a lot of people that have these things. Do they pay for it? Do they get paid for it? How does that happen? And I think we've kind of covered it. And a lot of these companies.
Topic for Nick to get in here and talk about one day.
And I think a lot of these companies might get butthurt if they send you something, and you don't tell them that it's the best thing in the world. And honestly, you as a company, you kind of have to understand that that's the risk that you take. Is if you're going to send somebody something for a review or to use, they may not like it, and that's kind of just where it's at.
I'll cut a promo for you for Bear. But 2, we should try to get Dan-O in here. We know a guy who knows a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just say, look, man, we open this can. Let's talk about it. Like MGK said, both of us single dads from the Midwest. Let's talk about it.
Sounds like to me that Mr. Dan ain't gonna like what we have to say, though.
Yeah, what are we like? Are we turning into Maury Povich here? What's going on?
No, that's more like Jerry Springer, not Maury. Maury is all about you are the father. We're more about Jerry Springer.
You are not the father.
Come here, City Bear.
Yeah.
All right,
Jared, rest in peace.
we're finishing this up.
All right, you want me to cut something to Bear? Just send the Bear?
Cut
Get
it.
it. Get after it.
Mr. Bear the Voice 3. Doug Bishop, a.k.a. JDB Cubed on the old TikTok app.
Big City Doug.
Big City, a.k.a. Big City Doug. We're here on the Cool Fireman Podcast with my man Matt and Freddy. We came across your video about Dan-O reporting your videos. That led me to the response video where you said, that dog don't hunt. We're curious if that's a poke at somebody. Please respond back to us and let us know about that. We'd love to talk to you. We want to figure it out. All right.
Tell us. We want to know.
We're curious.
Thanks, y'all. Hey,
right.
Great episode.
Hey.
We'll see you guys. Happy New Year.
Yeah, man.
You had a happy
I gotta
New Year.
go. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, me too. See you. Roll it, Gigi.
Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give these firemen a huge thumbs up. Also, make sure you check out thecoolfireman.com for more. Thanks!